The Olympic season is about to begin this August. How fitting. Though, for this film, I'm not gonna talk about the Olympic video games and make fun of how the Rio 2016 is gonna be like hell. Instead, I'm gonna talk about EA sports games and make fun of how good EA is. Okay, kinda about that last part.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
EA Sports, much like Battlefield, Need for Speed, The Sims, and movie tie-in games from the 2000s, is one of the most memorable franchises from Electronic Arts. After they stopped being electronic artists, they became electronic businessmen. Or yuppies or whatever. You have the FIFAs, the PGAs, the Maddens, the NBA Lives, and the UFCs. They used to make games about NASCAR, boxing, cricket, college football and basketball, tennis, Barbie, and fucking motion-controlled personal trainers of sorts. Just be glad they didn't touch WWE again yet, because I don't know how are they supposed to make something to do with wrestling. Okay, there's Def Jam Vendetta, but that's an arcade-style game from EA Sports Big, so it doesn't count. Sure, FIFA 17 is gonna have a story mode. Okay, so maybe it's plausible that something like that would happen if Take-Two/2K sells the WWE rights to EA. But enough fluffing about EA Sports in general, and let's look at this week's game.
When I go left, when I go right, I just wanna get it on tonight. I can't stop now, my game is tight. Nobody can hold me down.
The NBA Live games kind of started in 1989 with Lakers vs Celtics and the NBA playoffs. With a title like that, you thought it's just gonna be about the match between the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. Don't worry, it isn't. There's more teams to choose from. It didn't get the NBA Live name until 1994 with the release of NBA Live 95 for the Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, and MS-DOS. And of course, like Mega Man in the NES era, they had to release an NBA Live title a year. Except between 2010 and 2012. After NBA Live 10, there were no NBA Live titles in those years. Sure, there was NBA Elite 11, but that's an iOS title, and the console versions were cancelled because EA thought they were too buggy to be released. Oh yeah, because they don't release buggy stuff. Nope, no sir. Just ignore Battlefield 4's bugs, they're fixed now. Though if there are copies that exist, they are rare to find. Only 9 exist, at least the PS3 version. There's also gonna be a Live 13, but that was cancelled too, so the only other option was to get NBA 2K11 to 2K13, which I heard are better. And it's also funny, there are 2 gaming companies that has the NBA license, EA and Take-Two Interactive. Like how there were 2 companies holding the NFL license, Sega and EA, but that was over in 2004 and only EA has the license. Anyways, NBA Live 2001 was released in 2000 for the PlayStation 1 and a quarter of a year later for the PS2 and Windows. I don't have the PC version, so I don't know if it's compatible with Windows 7 and onwards. What I have is the PS1 version, where the marketing blurb states that it features facial animation. For a PS1? No, not changing textures to mimic facial animation, no. Actual, physical, real-time facial animation. Something that Crash Bandicoot beat NBA Live to it by 4 years. The cover is just silly. You have Kevin Garnett about to throw a ball, while shouting for some reason. You sometimes see shouting b-ball players in the covers. Woo! Whoa! Ah! Ow! Whoops, wrong license. So you start up the game and, oh, yeah. I forgot. My copy is locked to Spanish. Really? No language selector? Maybe the disc didn't have enough space due to the real-time facial animation. And audio commentary. Yes, this actually has audio commentary from Don Poyer and Bob Elliott. At least in the English version. In the Spanish version, the game is commentated by Andre Montes from Canal Plus.
Ya estamos todos aquí con Canal Plus. Soy Andrés Montes. Os doy la bienvenida a Miami para este partido de exhibición entre los Phoenix Suns y los Miami Heat. Ahora los
But since I love my English-speaking audience, which is most of my viewers, I sacrifice myself to get an ISO of an English-speaking copy. Sue me! You can tell this predates NBA 2K's signature Michael Jordan challenge just by looking at the main menu. There are 8 modes that you can play. This is too much for me. You have Exhibition, not that kind, where you play a single match with customizable settings like quarter time, difficulty, and playstyle. Sadly, there's no style where the game plays like NBA Jam. Arcade might be similar, but it lacks the overly excited announcer. You have a season mode, which is like career mode, where you play as a team during the basketball season. No shit. Playoffs is like a tournament mode. Like the real playoffs, you can play a 5-7-7-7 tournament, meaning 5 games with your opponent during the Octopable finals and 7 during the quarterfinals, semifinals and the finals. Or you can just play the 1-1-1-1 type if you don't have the patience of a hardcore b-ball nerd. 3-point shootout is where you try to throw the balls over the rink in 5 sections with 5 balls each. I'm gonna be honest here. I really like this minigame more than the actual game, because it's a short game that has a lot of replay value. One-on-one mode, apparently sponsored by Michael Jordan, is, as the name implies, a Boston-style streetball mode. Practice mode is where, I forgot what it was. NBA draft, I don't know what it is supposed to be. You select the team, then add the players to your roster, and then you get kicked out of the menu? I don't know what I'm doing. And NBA Live challenges, which is like achievements. Okay, let's get into the meat of the game. The game has all the official NBA teams, at least from the 2001 season, such as the Hawks, Celtics, Hornets, Bulls, Cavaliers, Mavericks, Nuggets, Pistons, Warriors, Rockets, Pacers, Clippers, Lakers, Heat, Bucks, Timberwolves, Nets, Knicks, Magic, 76ers, Suns, Trailblazers, Kings, Spurs, Sonics, Raptors, Jazz, Grizzlies, and Wizards! Holy shit! That's a lot of teams. Ah! Excuse me, but I'm in the middle of the review. Can't you see I'm busy explaining the game to the viewers? Well, back to the review. I'll be playing in simulation style with 5-minute quarters on all-star difficulty. This might be fun.
Good evening, Hoop fans. I'm Don Poyer alongside Bob Elliott, and welcome to Portland for this NBA game between the Boston Celtics and the Portland Trail Blazers.
So on the offense side, you press X to pass, you press circle to shoot, you press triangle to spin, and you press square to switch hands. On the defense side, you press X to change the player, you press circle to do a handshake, you press triangle to do a block, and you press square to steal the ball. The gameplay feels passable, as I try to explain without sounding like some pretentious reviewer from any gaming website. When you move your player, it has a sort of momentum that you can turn off in the options menu. The controls feel great, at times. For instance, you can walk until you stop running, and then hold the R1 button. Which is weird, even if you use analog movement or not. You don't stop running to walk, that's just silly. What's also weird is how the menus work. You press X to select stuff, like normal, but to go back you have to use the select button. How backwards is that? It's usually triangle or circle to go back. Oh, and that's not all. In some cases, you have to press the start button to select or start a match. What is up with the menu controls, man? Or... ma'am? Huh. Back to the gameplay. I'm playing on simulation mode, yet I'm acting like this is a no rules game because I keep getting illegal defense warnings.
Illegal defense. Portland.
I'm scared to defend there. Like, I don't know how do I commit an illegal defense. Is it just for staying there for a period of time?
Takes the jumper.
Well, first quarter is done. I'm making Portland feel disappointed in their home game. But it's just a friendly match, so there isn't gonna be a riot after that. Second quarter, Wallace grabs the rebound at the 30-second mark and misses his opportunity for a 3-point. I almost always try getting 3 points, but I fail sometimes. Maybe it's because the AI is so annoying in all-star difficulty that they perfectly block the entrance to the 2-point area. What's even more annoying is that in simulation mode, there's timeouts which happens randomly so that it can substitute a player. Like, come on, I was gonna get the ball and... fuck! Yeah, it was both for the 2 players of my team and one of the opponent's team, but it's annoying as heck. You know, I could have chosen arcade, but that'll be called a filthy casual by some people. There's also defensive fouls and offensive fouls and other sorts of realism. Like shot clocks.
Shot clock is dead.
You know, when it comes to defending, I seem to be the worst at it when I was recording this footage. I only go to this area and jump near the basket. Sure, I get illegal defense warning, but other than that, I still fail. Half time. Holy shit, it's gonna be a riot. Forget about what I said when the first quarter ended. Yeah, I got points, but that doesn't mean jack shit when you have less points than the opposition. That's how the Leaves won the referendum. Third quarter. This is where I talk about the greater player. I know how the match is gonna end, so let's focus on the other stuff. Yes, you can create a new b-ball player by activating a sort of quick menu and select this stick figure thing. It's a bit basic, but it is expected for a PS1 game. I heard the PC version is more advanced than that, but let's not hit around the bush. You have the basic stuff like name, hairstyle, faces, height, weight, position, team, date of birth, which college he attended? Wow, this is so authentic! Then there's the advanced stuff, and by that I mean the stats, and let's be honest, I tend to ignore most of this. I'm too casual to understand these. I'm not a b-ball nerd. What is this? What is that? How does this change how my player acts? What does this even mean? Am I in heaven? Shit! Final quarter. I get the feeling most of the Portland fans are leaving the stadium due to the sheer disappointment that I'm doing. The graphics are great for a PS1 game. There's actual reflections on the court, at least on the stadiums. Speaking of the stadiums, there are different court designs that are unique for each team, instead of just the team's logo on the center. Great attention to detail there. Sure, the Lakers and the Clippers courts look identical, but that's because their home stadium is the Staples Center, so it makes sense. Of course, there are stuff that feel dated, like the elephant in the room, the people. Sure, they look fine, but with the added facial animation and the low frame rate, it just feels eerie. Like they're gonna come out and kill me, Ringo style. I'll take Crash 2 than these zombies, please. And don't forget about those goddamn building cutouts that look melted. Sound-wise, nothing special. There's the usual shoe scratching sounds, different sounds for hoops, and by that I mean different pitch changes. Again, nothing special. Don Poyer and Bob Elliott have good friendly chemistry when it comes to commentating, though it's mostly Don doing the work, and Bob just telling me how my team is doing shit.
Shoots from outside.
Stoudemire tried to do a little too much that time, Don.
Needs basketball facts for commentary purposes, like in the EA NASCAR games. The music only plays when you're in the menus. In the PS1 version, there's a few original songs and a licensed one by Montell Jordan. Though the song is possibly a game exclusive. They're great to listen. I don't have a favorite, though Unstoppable is slightly better than the rest. And the game ended. The American Celts unceremoniously defeated a bunch of Chevy Trailblazers with 79 points. Well, at least I tried. So that was the game. It's okay. The only game that I had more fun is the 3-point contest. The main game, it's kind of accurate to the real deal, but it's just annoying when playing on the simulation mode. Arcade mode is slightly more entertaining, but I prefer NBA Jam or any arcade style b-ball game. Is this month gonna be me trashing simulation games? Not really. There are simulation games that I like, as you'll see later, but the ones that I mostly enjoy are racing simulators. Yes, I am a racing nerd. And I also like NASCAR. I even got a copy of NASCAR Racing 2003 season, which is a good find for me. I don't know how rare they are in Europe, since NASCAR isn't popular outside of US. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. The game is okay, play NBA Jam instead. Well, she's gone.
Ball